Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy King Marko in the building. Here to give y'all boys some game. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know what to do. King's Court coming soon. Let's get into it. Well, Deshaun Watson facing the grand jury today. They're not going to deliberate. They're going to be deliberating today, possibly Monday, maybe Tuesday. And they're going to find out exactly what the grand jury is going to do to see if they have enough evidence to prosecute this case. From my understanding, they're saying that Deshaun Watson is going to plead the Fifth Amendment. If he's gonna take the stand, and he's gonna plead the Fifth. That's probably the smart thing to do is to plead the Fifth because he doesn't know how this thing is going to go. He doesn't know what kind of questions are going to be asked. So, from a litigation standpoint, taking the Fifth Amendment right now is probably the smart idea because he doesn't know what evidence that they have against him. As far as if he gets out of this, if he doesn't get out, if he does get out of this, he still has to face 22 lawsuits. But the most important thing right now is for him to see if whether or not he's going to be prosecuted criminally. Based on the reports that I've been getting, I don't think that they're not going to have enough evidence to prosecute this case. Now, the case to me probably a bogus case, but based on the history of the court system and the history of black celebrities, you can have minimum evidence and the case still get prosecuted. Okay, we go down the list. I don't want to go down with all the names of all of the black athletes, actors, rappers, etc., charged on cases that had little to no evidence. But based on the reports that I've been getting, Deshaun Watson is probably going to be able to the escape from being charged. One of the main reasons, my opinion, that he's probably going to get out of this is because the Houston Texans, they are on the hook for a lot of money. And they need to cut bait with Deshaun Watson as fast as they can. Okay. This guy was fresh into his new deal. Okay, he's in the third year of his new deal. And if they can't get rid of him, if they get rid of him, that's going to be a lot of money that's going to be that's going to be charged to their salary cap, and that'll destroy them for at least the next 4 years. Okay, so my guesstimation, the Houston Texans, their best bet for right now is to make sure that Deshaun Watson does not get charged criminally. Because if he gets charged criminally, then that means the NFL has to step in and suspend him for the rest of the season, or suspend him till this case has been solved. Okay, that's what's going to happen. They're not going to let Deshaun play or be on a payroll and he's being charged for a sexual assault case. And that is bad news for Deshaun, and it is most certainly bad news for the Houston Texans. Okay. Luckily for Deshaun Watson, this is being charged in Texas is probably to his best benefit. Okay. The Texans will probably pull some strings to make sure that Deshaun will not get charged criminally because that affects them. That affects their bottom line big time. They want to trade him and let that be somebody else's problem. Okay, that's what the Houston Texans want to do. They want to get out. They want to get from underneath Deshaun Watson right now. Bad. Okay, because it's even if he, let's say he doesn't get charged criminally, he still has 22 lawsuits, and it'd be hard for the Texans to put him right back there on the field. Okay, it's gonna be hard for them to do that. They're not gonna sell no tickets. They're gonna get a lot of political pressure from a lot of different pieces, from a lot of different people. That's gonna say that hey, Deshaun doesn't deserve to play. The Houston Texans might not want to deal with that. They want to start. They want to start brand new and fresh. So the best bet for them to do is to make sure that he doesn't get charged criminally, and then once he doesn't get charged criminally, he'll be able to be trade bait. And they'll get some pieces because at this point right now, teams are desperate for a quarterback. They're desperate. Okay, with all the maneuvering that's been going on in the NFL this year, in this offseason, teams have gotten a lot better to the point where now you better get yourself a good quarterback. You can't afford, certain teams cannot afford to not have a good quarterback, especially if they're in a certain division. Okay. Or they got these teams on their payroll. Okay, that's what I see. Or not payroll, but teams on their schedule. That's what I see. Okay. Deshaun Watson is not gonna be traded to a team that needs him. There's quite a few teams that can use him right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger just retired. Okay, they could use a quarterback. Seattle Seahawks, they can use a quarterback. Miami Dolphins, they can use a quarterback. There's a whole host of quarterbacks that can use Deshaun Watson. A whole bunch of teams that can use Deshaun Watson. And I think personally, he's out of there. He's out of there, and he's not going to get charged. Not my opinion. I don't think he's going to get charged either. The reports have been saying that he's not going to get charged, but I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it. There's too many things at stake right now, and the vitriol of this case has simmered down. Nobody is really screaming Deshaun Watson's name right now. They prolonged it for as long as they could. And the energy towards Deshaun is not as strong as it was a year ago. If he was going through a grand jury last year, the chances of him getting charged last year is a lot stronger than this year. Guaranteed. Okay? Bottom line. I think he'll get out of it. And people are already talking about, making him, what destinations that he's gonna be at. What place what the teams would he fit in good. And there's a lot of teams that he could fit in real good. But I don't know if they don't want that contract though. That contract is pretty high. To even get Deshaun, it's a very high contract, and he signed a $140 billion deal, and so with being $140 million deal, he's only third. It's only his third year into it. Yeah, he signed a 4-year deal for $160 million. Okay. Okay, the only thing that helps them is that they didn't give him much of a signing bonus. He only got $27 million in a signing bonus. But he's going to earn $35 million in 2022. Okay? And the cap hit is $40 million. Dead cap is 51. They can't afford Deshaun Watson to get indicted. Can't afford it. Okay? They got $40 million, almost $50 million in cap in dead cap value. They get rid of him, it's gonna cost them $40 million to do it. Texans will be down for years. Okay, they won't be able to sign anybody. Nobody will want to go play for the Texans. The Texans will have to be the best NFL, have the best NFL scouts in the business right now. Okay, right now I'll be busted. If I was a scout, I'll be busting the shit out of their head if they get rid of Deshaun Watson. They have to get rid of this contract, and they can't afford him to be all wrapped up in an indictment. Can't afford it. $40 million for the count against their cap, and dead cap value $50 million. Shit, that's 25% of their salary cap right there. Straight up. They raised the cap value to like almost $210 million, and the dead cap value is $51 million. That is almost 25%, and you got 52 other players to pay. Not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen, y'all. Deshaun Watson, he probably was lucky that he signed that contract. If he was still under that rookie deal, they'd have been cut bait with him. He'd be like Henry Ruggs. And I'm gonna be doing a show on Henry Ruggs real soon too. Stay tuned to that. I got some real good things to tell you about that. But he would be like Henry Ruggs if he signed that contract. They got rid of him fast. 22 lawsuits, civil lawsuits, and they don't know if he's gonna get indicted. Yeah, they had to cut bait with him. But since he counts 50 million in dead cat money, they can't cut bait with him. Houston Texans gotta pull some strings. They had to make a phone call and tell them, hey, we can't afford Deshaun Watson to go to jail. We can't afford it. It's gonna count against our cap so bad to the point we won't make any money. We'll be forced to leave the city of Texas, the state of Texas, at this rate. I mean, seriously, it might get to that level. I mean, shit, if you sitting out there with this guy and he's counting all this money against the cap, and then the Texans, they're not no historic franchise. You know, they're not known like the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Green Bay Packers or, you know, the New England Patriots. They ain't none of that. They're not no historic franchise that can just plug players in and plug players out. They can't. They're not that type of team. They can't afford. They can't afford for Deshaun Watson to go to jail. They got to trade him and get draft picks for him. Or hopefully they can get a decent quarterback. Maybe they can get a decent quarterback in the free agency market. You know, there's a few pieces that they can get out there, a few players they can get out there, but they can't afford to take no $50 million hit. That's way too much. Way too much. You can't take that kind of hit. It's too much of a hit for them right now. It's $50 million, 20% of the cap. Over 20% of the cap. Can't afford it. I can tell you that right now. It's not gonna happen. Deshaun Watson is gonna beat this, just for the simple fact that the Texans can't afford for him to get indicted. He's gonna get suspended if he do. That's for sure. He's gonna definitely get suspended if he gets indicted. And the Texans, they can't do nothing with it. They're gonna have another sorry season. They're gonna be trash again, and they're gonna be trash next year. Because if he gets indicted, shit, chances are he fuck around and go to jail. So they're gonna be without a star quarterback. And God only knows how much money it cost them the next year. So he's dead. Okay, the Texans are done. They can't afford that. So my guesstimation here, my personal opinion, is that Deshaun Watson is gonna beat this motherfucking case. Okay? He gonna beat that shit. Now, I don't know about them 22 lawsuits. Okay, he basically saying he willing to fight these cases. Okay, but a civil lawsuit, that should go anyway. He could be paying out a lot of money. That's what I do see. Okay, this might be an O.J. Simpson type situation where he might win this battle, but he gonna lose the war, and he gonna lose the money war. Because some of these women gonna get paid. I ain't gonna say all of them gonna get paid, but some of these women gonna get paid. So he going to break out the checkbook and write out a few checks. That's where he's probably gonna lose out at. He gonna pay out some money. The lawyer already busted him. Now, when it all gets down to the nitty gritty, he might just pay some of these hoes off just to get it out the way, just so he can close the case. That's what the lawyers is gonna tell him. And majority of these women is being represented by one person, so that'll probably be easier for him that he can go to one lawyer and they can all just settle this motherfucking case on the ones that he willing to pay on. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, he might not get charged criminally, but in the civil court, he gonna lose. He gonna lose that big time. And the Texans, they want to do away with this fast. They don't want this nigga around no more. They want him gone. They want to start, even if they got traded for draft picks, they're going to want his ass out of there. Forward. Want y'all boys to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for a player. It's your boy King Marko. I'm signing out.